Okay, I think we're ready.
Can you see my hand?
I don't know. Yep, we're good. All right, so again, good morning, everybody, and happy Jersey Day. Okay, so today you should have out your science textbooks, your science notebooks, and the aim is on the board. I can classify vertebrates. So in the aim, there are two science words that we're going to underline: classify and vertebrates. Excellent. So let's just refresh our memory from last week. Actually, 2 weeks ago. What does it mean when we classify things? And think back to the sneaker experiment that we did. Lori.
What we do is we put them in groups.
Put them in groups, how?
Like if for example, if something has leather on it and the other.
Okay, I want to elaborate a little bit more. Yes?
To identify.
To identify, okay. Let's stay with the group. I like that, but grouping things by what? Come here.
By their kingdom.
No, we didn't classify sneakers by kingdom.
Color.
I even did it with boys and girls. Remember, people stood up here, whether they had glasses or what kind of shirt they were wearing or what their hair looked like that day.
The
Yeah.
characteristics.
Yes. Classify means to group things by characteristics or traits they have in common. Okay, everybody should be writing this down. Okay, remember this? We went by the sneakers. All the high tops were in one corner. All the ones that were made of fabric were in one area. Everything that had laces was in another area. And then we came down to Catherine's. And the reason why hers was by herself, because she was the only one who had a pattern with her sneakers. Remember that? Are you okay? Okay. So today we're going to be talking about vertebrates, but before we even do that, we have to talk about the difference between living things and non-living things. And I don't mean alive or dead. What I mean is, what is the difference between me and this marker? Okay? There are certain characteristics of living things, of all of us, and non-living things. You know that you are alive, but this stapler is not. Correct? So I'm going to let you make your T-chart, and then we're going to do something kind of fun today before we get to break up. Kind of like Fun Friday, yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Hi, Patrick. Welcome. Okay, so everybody's mind should be starting to think about what's the difference between living and non-living things. Now, usually, we would brainstorm as a class. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. You're going to choose a partner, one person, and you're going to meet together to discuss what is the difference between living things and non-living things. And because I thought about it last week, there's a lot of different talent in this classroom. Some people like to write, some people like to draw, and some people like to act it out. So, I know, that's why. So, instead of me telling you which one you're going to do, I'm going to let you pick with your partner. I'm glad you're excited about what you would like to do. So, your first choice is, sorry. If you write it, you're going to complete it in your notebook, Okay? You don't have to write this down. These are the directions. Okay? If you decide to draw it, take the white paper from the U-shaped table, and you know you need crayons or coloring utensils. And if you decide to act it out, you're going to be prepared to present. And again, the central question, instead of us doing it as a class, I thought this would be more fun, is to decide what is the difference between living and non-living things. You have 3 ways to show me. You can either write it down and complete the T-chart that we just started in your notebook. You can draw it. You only need 1 piece of white paper over on the U-shaped table. Or you can act it out, and you're going to be prepared to present it to anybody who acts out. Okay, does it sound like a good way to start Monday? Okay, so, I didn't want to put you in groups. You know, last week we did a lot of group work, and I was really happy with the responsibility that people are taking now. I think you're starting to get it, that you do more and more things without me. So we're going to see how it goes. Then I'm going to let you choose your own groups, okay? 1 or 2 people in a group, and then I need to see you sitting down with your group, and I should be able to tell which of these 3 you're doing. Everybody good? Okay, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to get set up with your group. You got to be sitting down. Remember, the white paper is over there.
Wait, like,
What?
do you mean by like two?
What?
Do we have 2 or 3?
You could have 3. Okay, once you have your group, sit down.
Excuse me. Wait.
Okay, 1 more minute. Get settled. Yes, honey?
Do I get to act it out, or we both have to act?
Your group has to decide what way you want to present to me. Do you want to act, do you want to draw, or do you want to write? All right, I'm going to count to 5, and then everybody should be set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Everybody looks like almost. Here they come. Okay. It is now just about 8:40. I'm going to stop you at 8:45. So you have 10 minutes to work with your group on what is the difference between a living and a non-living thing. Please put your hand on your head if you understand what I'm asking you to do. Okay, I just want to do a quick check. How many people plan on writing it in their notebook? Raise your hands, please. Okay, a couple of people. Okay, how many people plan on drawing? Excellent. Okay, how many people plan on acting it out? Okay, good job. I can't wait to see everything. All right, go ahead. You could start. Remember, accountable talk, please.
If we're gonna act it, do we have to be there?
Yes.
All there. Okay, thank you.
Okay, hi guys. You guys are writing? Okay, what are you thinking so far? What's the main difference, in your opinion, between living and non-living things?
Things that can
What?
breathe, eat.
Living things breathe, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
That can use energy.
Use energy? Okay, keep going with that. Excellent. Good. Hey, guys. Okay, you guys are writing? Okay, what are you thinking is the big difference between living and non-living things?
Many living things like breathe and move around, but non-living things can't really do anything. They only help you, but it's just you can't do anything. You can just they don't breathe or anything. They don't walk.
Great. Jefferson, you agree? Yeah? Oh, you girls are drawing? Okay, what are you thinking? What's the difference between living and non-living things?
That living things need water and non-living things don't need water.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Good job. I love the thinking that I'm hearing today. Hi, boys. Which way did you put your writing?
I'm writing. He's just doing something else.
Okay. So what are you guys thinking? What's the main difference between living and non-living things?
Between living things and non-living things, I guess, is that one of them moves and one of them doesn't. Some
I'm sorry?
living things move, some living things don't move.
Oh, okay. Moving.
They all are organisms, and unliving things are not organisms.
Okay. We'll see. We're going to learn more about it today. Keep going. Hi, girls. You drawing?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
We're gonna draw a line between one side non-living things and one side living.
Okay. And what are you thinking is the difference?
That living fetus.
What happened?
A living thing fetus.
Breathes. Okay.
And they can do stuff, but non.
You got to be specific. You can't just say do stuff.
They can need something in order to walk.
Maybe. We'll see. Well, let me ask something. Is a fish living? Fish doesn't walk.
They move.
Yes.
We have to list the living things, non-living things by characteristic.
That's what you think. Yeah. What's different between them? You guys choosing to write?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think is the main difference?
I think the main difference is that the living things, they need something in order to live. They need something.
They need something in order to live. What's that something?
There's different stuff.
Like?
People need air to live.
Yes.
Plants need water, sun to live.
Okay. Is a plant a living thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. To start to think about, is a plant and us the same? No? Okay. You think of anything different between them?
Yeah. We need air, but they need water, sun, and good care.
Okay. Carlos, what are you thinking? You agree with him? All right, I'm going to come back. All right. You're acting it out? Great. I can't wait to see you practicing now. All right, so what's your plan?
Non-living and living.
Okay, what are you thinking is the difference between them?
Living things moves around, breathes air, eats. Non-living things just sits there.
Okay, excellent. All right, I can't wait to see. Let's go see what this group is doing. All right, watch your time. Just about 5 more minutes. Hi, girls. So what are you doing? Are you eating out or eating out? Did you hear what I just said? Oh, you're acting out? Okay. What are your ideas? What's the difference?
So Melissa's gonna sit down. Lori and Melissa are gonna walk in together. Melissa's gonna sit down, and then she's gonna say, "Is the notebook a living thing? Because it can move." And then she's gonna say, "No." So I'm gonna come in and tell, and she's gonna ask the question, "What is living thing?" And I'm gonna answer her question, and then she's like, "Oh," and then I'm gonna say that something that can take the nutrients and water and make it to a food. Huh? Then she says, is the sink a living thing?
Wait, who takes the nutrients? We do?
Yeah.
And we make what with it?
No, like the plants makes food.
Oh, the plants make food. Okay, I got it.
She's gonna say, is the sink a living thing because it takes some water?
Do we make our own food?
No.
No, only the plants. Okay, good. All right, keep going. Thank you. Okay, let's do one more walk around. Okay, watch your time, everybody.
Okay, fine, be a desk. One.
Okay, let's go. You're my desk. Come on. Let's get all my things seated you.
No, not like that.
I didn't get my first downstairs. Got it?
Okay, a knife is not living. That is not living.
Oh, I think I got scratched. It's not a real thing.
Why don't you just try
Oh, let me see what you have so far, Ashley. Okay, so explain to me what you have. Living things.
I put air because living things need air, like
Okay.
plants. We all need sun.
Okay.
We all need to drink water, and we all need food.
Interesting. Okay.
It's slimy. So it'd be a turtle. We need something else than
Let me see.
the cheese is brown.
Miss Levine.
Yes.
I need to put this away.
Oh, you're making believe she's a desk? Okay, how's your list coming? Oh, you're drawing. Okay, what are you thinking? Tell me. What are you thinking is, how do I tell a living thing from a non-living thing? Okay. Wait, a person and an animal? They're both living things or non-living things? Okay. What's an example of a non? How do you know?
Excuse me. Thank you. Doesn't need to breathe or eat.
Ah, doesn't need to breathe or eat. Good. Oh, wow. What is this? You want to tell me a little bit?
A planner.
Living things. These are the living things, like the flowers, sun, and what we did, like what we were doing last week, or I think 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And right here on this side, we're doing non-living things.
Excellent. Let me see how you... Oh, excellent. Oh, you're listing things.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can you make sure you know what the difference is? Like, how do we know the difference between a plant and a cat? Like, how do we know one is living and one is not living? Okay, that's the question you want to say to yourself.
Plants live because they absorb energy from the sun, and they also need water to grow.
Yeah?
And they breathe air, but they like the sun.
Hi.
Is it okay if me and Addison change? Because now we want to do acting.
Okay, but you only have a couple of minutes left, so... All right, let me see a show of hands. Do people need 5 more minutes? Okay, 5 more minutes, and then that's it. Then we got to get started. It's getting a little loud. Let's remember group norms, please. You guys done?
Let me see how
Yes.
Are machines living or not living?
What?
Are machines living or not?
Machines?
Yeah.
You decide that with your partner. That's the whole idea of this, Devon. You got to figure it out. I'm listening.
Plants breathe carbon dioxide.
What happened?
Don't they like breathe carbon dioxide?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I hope you girls aren't being silly and that you're staying on task.
Yes, we are. We're just trying to see who's the strongest side, Jess.
Okay.
My turn. Go for it. And then you can take his nutrients and water and then move and survive. For example, a plant can move to make its own food and continue to grow even more. But the tricky thing is, humans cannot make your own food. Okay? How about the thing? It's in water. The thing is an object and it can't move by itself. And it's a machine. Am I a living thing? I'm special. I can make food. I can make a homemade ice cream. Wait! Okay, I think that went well. But you have to see there. There's nothing. No, get up more. Get up more. Yeah, right there. See, no, but then when you hit there, and then you would go. We don't have any small chairs now.
No, we're going to be stopping.
Okay. Do
Okay.
you have any tiny chairs?
I do not have any tiny chairs. What did you just say? Okay, I know that some people aren't finished, and it's okay, but we need to start to have our discussion. So I want you to come back. Okay, everybody come back to their own seats. It's okay if you didn't finish. All right, are we ready? All right, let me ask you a question, please. Did you like, instead of brainstorming as a class, raise your hand if you enjoyed you brainstorming on your own with a partner? Good. Excellent, so we'll do that more often. Also, please tell me how many people enjoyed the fact that they could make a choice, whether they wanted to write, whether they wanted to draw, or whether they wanted to act. Excellent. So I'm going to erase this. Everybody now has their T-chart, and we're going to take notes based on what your classmates said. Now, that's why I said if you still have to finish coloring, you can. Okay, so let's talk about the people who acted out, okay? Let me see, who's one of my act out groups? Okay, Samir's your group, right? Excuse me.
I guess.
Okay, so come on up. Okay, wait, I'll wait till I say roll. And remember, you're presenting to the class, what's the difference between living and non-living things? All right, go.
Hi, notebook. Are you ready to write? Who are you talking to? My notebook? No, that's not a living thing, right? But it can move. But you're moving it by yourself. What is a living thing? Well, a living thing is something where you can take in nutrients and eat food to help you survive. For example, a plant can make its own food, and you can put in water and it takes in that water and grow up more. But the tricky thing is, humans cannot make their own food. No, they cannot make their own food.
How about the sink? You can get water. But the sink is an object. It can't move by itself. And it's a sink. Am I a living thing?
No, this is fantastic. Excellent, girls.
What's your living thing? You can move, right? You can dance, right? So, like, for example, my mind is telling me to dance. Should I dance? Let me think about that. Yeah. Yeah, let's dance, people.
All right, good job. Everybody give them a hand. All right, that was very good. You had a lot of ideas. So what did we learn from that? What is the difference between a living and a non-living thing? Fred.
A living thing can move.
Can move. What else do you think a living thing can do based on their presentation?
Breathe.
Breathe. Anything else based on that? No? That was excellent. Excellent. And I love the point that she made, that even though plants and animals are both living things, who heard the major difference that she said between a plant and an animal, if you weren't in her group? Louis.
That I can make its own food.
That's the huge thing, that a plant can make its own. So even though the plants and the animals are both the same, an animal, we're like an animal, we have to go somewhere to get our food. We have to go pick it from a farm, we have to go to a supermarket, we have to go to a restaurant. We cannot just stay there and say, I'm hungry and I'm gonna eat right now. No, can't happen, okay? But that would be really good. And plants, they can't do it. Plants make their own food. That's the major difference. And some people are gonna say to me, how do plants move? Excuse me. Last year for science fair experiments, some children did this. You put a plant in a window. Sometimes you might see the plants bend a little bit so they can get in the light. Has anybody ever seen that happen?
Oh, yes.
Sometimes they move a little, so they don't move and like walk across the road, but they do, they move. Yes,
Last time when we were there, they put like a plant in the closet
yes.
for 2 months, and then after it was growing, but it didn't have like it was like yellow.
It couldn't conduct photosynthesis, right? I'm so happy. Did you learn about photosynthesis in 4th grade?
Yeah.
Excellent. So one thing that I'm going to put over here, instead of calling it food, let's say that living things need energy, okay? And what happens is plants do it by themselves, right? Excellent job. Okay, everybody should be writing this down in their notebooks. So living things move, they breathe, they need air, and plants even need air too, out of the little holes in their leaves. And everything needs energy to live. Plants do it on their own, and the animals have to go out and get it. Fantastic, you did a great job. Okay, Catherine, is your group ready? Okay, go on. Sure. Nice and loud. Oh, they're on their side. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, go ahead. Oh, Basilia is supposed to be a desk. All right, I'm confused.
Me too. Wait, can we go over there?
But nobody will be able to tell me what you're trying to do. Explain to the class what you're doing.
So Cecilia is supposed to be a desk, Alexandra is the teacher, and I'm supposed to take out my science textbook, but I say that's too heavy, so I'll just say, desk, please come with me.
But that can't happen. Right.
So she says the desk is not a living thing; it's a non-living thing because the desk can't move. It
Okay.
stays still unless you move it.
Right? Okay. No, we understand now. All right. Good job, everybody. All right. So, anything from Catherine's group that we should add to our list? No? To here? What's the difference between a living thing and a non-living thing from their group? Yeah, we have the moving, yeah? So if we want, we could say on this side that living things don't move.
Unless you move them.
Right, they don't move. You have to move them yourself. Right. Excellent. Yes, Melissa? They can't take, the non-living things don't need air, right? Excellent. Okay, so now what I would like you to do is I would like the groups that chose to draw to come up with their posters and stand up in front, please. All right, and just hold your posters up. All right, so I know they're not finished, but what I want to hear is I want to hear the thought process, what your thinking was. Okay, Jason and Andy, so what were you thinking was the main difference of how you could tell a living thing from a non-living thing?
That it wasn't like a living thing would have to eat and breathe.
Okay, so eating and breathing, so that's, so what did you draw? You drew a turtle and you drew a person, right, so far? Okay, good. Okay, Ashley and Evelyn?
We knew that living things need air, water, the sun, and energy.
Excellent.
Such as food.
Oh, and non-living things, let me see. What did you write?
Don't eat food, don't need sun, no water.
Excellent. Okay. What do you think, Andrea and Emily? What you're thinking? I know you're not finished. Wait, the three of you were a group?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your process? You drew animals, flowers, a tree, a sun. So how do you know the difference between a living and a non-living thing?
Because the living things in the poster, these are the ones that have energy and breathe and they move.
Good. Excellent. Okay. And what about you?
Andrew did this side, I did this side, and Andrew drew some living things. I drew some non-living things.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew the difference between them because these non-living things don't like move.
Ah.
The clock moves, but it just moves because of the time.
Okay.
Here on the non-living thing, I did a person, and he's telling the table to move.
Okay.
Since it's a non-living thing. And then on the living thing, there's a person. Like, he's just judging the tree that it can't move, but it's a living thing.
Excellent. Excellent. Good job, everybody. You can put those on the U-shaped table, and we'll finish them later on, so you can go put them away. Yes. fine job of activating your prior knowledge of what you know about living and non-living things, okay? But it's pretty obvious. You're like, duh, of course I know this isn't living. But you have to think why. One big thing also that you guys didn't say is that living things react to things that are going on. If it's cold, living things want to get warm. If it's warm, people want to cool off. If you touch something hot, you're going to react to it. A non-living thing, nothing is going to happen to it. It's not going to feel anything. I'm sorry? Some living things hibernate, yeah, but this is, they react to outside conditions. Okay, now there's a couple of other groups who wrote down things between, of that difference between living and non-living things. Does anybody want to add from what they wrote? Yes, to hear. They grow. Excellent. So they change. Okay, what else do they do?
Living things died.
And they also die. Yeah, eventually. So, yep, they eventually die. Anything else? No? Well, like I said, we're starting this unit today, and we're going to be talking about it the entire week. And by the end of the week, we will have a much more exhaustive list. All right, can I erase this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so today we're going to get into one kind of living thing. Okay, something that is important is that all living things, I should write this down, all living things are different, but they share similar structures. Okay, I want you to circle this, put a star around it, whatever you need to do. Okay, all living things are different. But they share similar structures. Sometimes they have things that are exactly the same. But if you remember from last week, we talked about the kingdoms and the species, remember, the class, all those different words, going down to a gray wolf. Because sometimes animals have characteristics that distinguish them from other animals. And the one that we're going to be talking about today are vertebrates. Not all animals are vertebrates. Vertebrates means that they have a backbone. And before, just thinking, we're going to list them. There are 5 kinds of vertebrates. 5 kinds. 5 kinds of animals that have a backbone. Okay? Mammals, of course. And that's where we are. Okay? Mammals, excellent. Another one is a bird. Another one is fish. Fish have backbones. And the last 2, and we're going to talk about the difference, is a reptile and an amphibian. We're going to talk about it today. An amphibian is like a frog. You did? Okay. So all living things are different, but they share similar structures. And I love that Samira's group picked out the fact that, like a plant, makes its own food, but we can't. That's a major difference. Because we're similar, we do some things that a plant does, but that's one big thing that a plant does that we don't. The process of photosynthesis. Okay? But today we're going to focus on vertebrates and the backbones. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch a short brain pop that we can take notes on as we go. All right. What I would suggest is go to a clean page in your notebook and set. Can I erase this?
Yeah.
If you get a clean page, you could set up 5 boxes. All right, and you could label them mammals, fish, amphibians, reptiles, thank you, and birds. Okay, and that way as they talk about each type of vertebrate, Carlos, what does vertebrate mean? They have backbones. All of these animals have backbones. So you'll be able to take notes about each of them as we watch the video. What a great science lesson today, guys. Good job so far. It's like a fun Monday, right?
Yeah.
Give everybody a minute. Let me see your big. Make sure you have room to take notes and everything is labeled. Okay, can I turn the lights off? Good. You might have to close a shade or two, I'm not sure. We'll see.
Dear Tim and Moby, what are vertebrates? From Lindsay. The animal kingdom is broken into vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates are animals that have backbones or spinal columns.
Okay, so if you still don't know that, make sure you have that down. Vertebrates are animals that have backbones or spinal columns. What would happen if you don't have a backbone? What would happen? Ashley?
You won't be able to stand still. You'll be like just like laying down.
Right. You'd be like a blob. That's all that would happen. You would have no shape. Our back gives us the ability to stay up straight.
Invertebrates are animals that do not. There are around 58,000 known species
Wow.
of vertebrates, and they belong to the phylum Chordata. Chordates have a notochord, a rod of stiffened tissue that can develop into a backbone of vertebrate as the animal grows. Invertebrates have an internal skeleton of bones called an endoskeleton, which offers support and protects the soft parts of the animal.
Okay, that's like us. Some animals, like a lobster, has their skeleton on the outside. Okay, you can see them, and that's hard. Or a turtle is on the outside. We have the opposite. We're soft on the outside, and we're hard on the inside. And looks what it does. The endoskeleton not only gives you support, but it protects all of our organs, like the heart, stomach, anything inside is protected by an organ. Our skull, not hard, what's it protecting? Brain.
Wait, what about the last one?
There are 2 ways that vertebrates regulate their body temperature. An ectotherm's body temperature changes to match their surroundings, so they have to watch where they go. Endotherms regulate their body temperature so that it stays constant no matter where they are.
That's what we are. We are endotherms. Okay? We are endotherms.
Yikes. Vertebrates are divided into some familiar groups of animals.
Here we go.
They include fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals.
That's what we just put on our graphic organizer. Everybody with me so far? Good.
Fish are classified into three groups: jawless fish, cartilaginous fish, and bony fish.
Okay. So jawless fish, cartilaginous. Has anybody ever heard the word cartilage?
Yeah.
Okay, cartilage is like another word for skin. So what these are cartilaginous fish, have a lot of skin, and bony fish. So fish have three different groups, and I'll write them here. He's going to talk about them more. All right, we good? What do you know? No.
Fish make up the largest group of vertebrates, which isn't too surprising when you consider that almost 75% of the Earth is covered in water.
So let's write that down too, that they're the largest group. Would you have guessed that, or would you have thought mammals? Why would you have thought mammals, Louie? Why would you have thought that? No? Because we're mammals and we rule the world, huh? Is that why?
Yeah.
But it makes sense. The Earth is covered, 3/4 of the Earth is covered with water. And what lives in the water? Fish.
Fish can live in all sorts of underwater environments. They are ectotherms that usually have fins for balance and movement and gills to bring in oxygen.
Okay, so
During development, many amphibians will undergo a metamorphosis. Since they lead these ectotherms that usually have fins.
okay. So, two things. How do they get oxygen? They use gills. That's how they breathe. And they are ectotherms. Does anybody remember what's the difference between an ectotherm and an endotherm? What? Ectotherms' body's temperature change where it is. That's why if anybody has a fish tank in their house, you have a thermometer in there to make sure the water doesn't get too cold or too hot. The water gets too cold or too hot and you have tropical fish, what happens to them? They die. Yeah.
Fins for balance and movement, and gills to bring in oxygen. Amphibians spend their lives between land and water.
I just want to also add fins. Fins help the fish move. Okay, so amphibians live on land and water. Yes, I did. Thank you.
Since they lead these double lives, the amphibian body has to support life both in water and on land. During development, many amphibians will undergo a metamorphosis, their forms undergoing dramatic changes as they become adults.
Okay, most people know about the frogs. Frogs start off as these little eggs, and then they're tadpoles and froglets, and they change. Their whole body changes through here. So metamorphosis, this big word, that means to change, like a butterfly. So amphibians have characteristics of fish, and they also have characteristics of mammals.
Being ectotherms, they tend to hide from extreme temperatures, burrowing underground in extreme heat, and going into a kind of hibernation called torpor during the winter months.
So they're like the fish, they're ectotherms, which means their body changes depending what conditions they are in. Maybe.
Reptiles are also ectotherms with a thick, dry, waterproof skin.
Okay, reptiles. Hey, I'm just writing what they wrote. Reptiles are also ectotherms with a thick, dry, waterproof skin. And a couple of people drew turtles today.
Some of them live in the water, but most reptiles are adapted to life on land.
Okay, so some live on the water, some live on land.
Lizards and snakes make up most of the reptile group.
Ah, I love lizards and snakes. And over here, back by amphibians, I'm gonna write frogs. And remember, these are all living things, but in a special group called vertebrates, because they all have backbones.
Did you know that snakes smell with their tongues?
Ooh,
I know.
There are somewhere between 9,000 and 10,000 species of birds.
lots of birds.
They've got feathers, 2 legs, wings, and hard bills or beaks. Feathers help to keep endothermic birds at a constant temperature all year long.
Okay, so they are like us, okay? Birds have feathers, and they are endothermic, which means their body stays the same all the time. I mean, we even wear, some people who wear down coats with the feathers, helps you to keep you warm.
Plus, they help them fly. A hard shell protects a growing bird until it's ready to hatch.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you had that. So feathers are help to keep it endothermic and also fly. And the hard eggshell gives you protection. So much information today in this brain pop, right? I know, but so much more interesting than the textbook.
Lots of birds will migrate to warmer climates when it gets too cold for comfort. But some stay put all year long.
Okay, and you know, if you look up in the sky now, sometimes you can see the birds, some migrate. You have anybody ever seen them in the big V? And you can see them heading south. Mostly geese, not gooses.
I heard about something body shape in like beaks.
There's a leader in the front.
Mammals are endotherms, with hair or fur that insulates them from the cold and heat.
Okay, so we don't have feathers, obviously. We have hair or fur that helps us be an endotherm. Okay, you think about hair on your head, but you have hair on your arms, you have hair on your legs, you even have a little bit of hair on, everywhere. Or you will have hair.
They give birth to live young and feed them with milk from their bodies.
Okay, nobody thought of this yet, okay? So mammals give birth to live young. This is a cow, people! 5th grade!
I didn't know. It's the way it is it. So it messes up.
Alright, I will move on. Oh my goodness, what are you gonna do in 6th grade? Okay, so mammals give birth to live young and feed milk from the body, and you know that some moms can feed babies if you have baby brothers and sisters. Okay? Great, get over it. 5th grade.
Mammals have the most complex brains and nervous systems of any animal group on Earth.
Okay, so it has complex, complicated, okay, brain and nervous systems.
that's true. Whales don't have much hair at all. But they're mammals, all right, nursing their live-born young just like other mammals. Whew, that's a lot of vertebrates.
A lot of vertebrates.
You're not a vertebrate. You don't have a backbone.
Oh, shoot, he does.
Well, I guess you are a vertebrate after all.
Excellent. Jared, can you put the lights on, please? Lots of information. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna give you a little summary sheet of the 5 kinds of vertebrates. And what I want you to do is I want you to read it and add to your graphic organizer anything that the Brain Pop video did not already talk about. Okay, just read the part, the mammals, the reptiles. Okay, so take a couple of minutes, read this over, and see if there's anything that wasn't mentioned in the Brain Pop video. Okay, I'll give everybody about 10 minutes. Everybody have one? Okay, this is not a complex text. Make sure you put your name on it and today's date. And this is yours, but if you see anything that we didn't talk about yet, add it to your list. Okay, we shouldn't be talking. Okay, so we need to get started. Let's go. Okay, you're just reading it over, pulling out any specific information that we did not find from the video. you finding any information that wasn't in the video, or the video did a pretty good job? Okay, but that's a good summary sheet for you to have, don't you think?
Yes.
All right, boys and girls, when you are done, the last part of science today, we spent a lot of time on science today. I liked it though, right?
Yeah.
So good, everybody loves science. Okay, so what I did was I gave you a question sheet that looks like this. And I want you, when you're ready, to preview the first 3 questions. Take your pencil and put a circle around question number 1, question number 2, and question number 3. Those are the only 3 questions I want you to be concerned about. Then what I want you to do is you're going to read the textbook, pages 10 to 13, and it's not a quiz, okay? I want you to look back, just like we did with the Mayas last week in social studies. All the answers are in the book. So when you read pages 10 to 13, you're going to complete the questions with information that you find from the textbook.
Also, you have to read the
Well, or you could do it at the same time, either one, because you're going to preview the question so you know what you're looking for. So then if you read and you, oh my goodness, I got to that spot, you can answer it right then and there. I'm going to be calling you to the bathroom while we do this for drinks. You guys did fantastic today, absolutely super. Whatever you don't finish will be for homework. So basically you're reading 3 to 4 pages and answering the first 3 questions. Raise your hand if you understand. Beautiful. Do you have a question? Any questions? Okay, directions are on the board. Okay, what are we doing? Why are we moving? Okay, fantastic job. Okay, make sure you're looking at pages 10 to 13. You're in the wrong book. That's the social studies textbook. We're supposed to be in the science textbook. I'm sorry? Okay, but is that what we should be doing right now? Okay, let's stay focused, please. All right, good job. I'll start calling people to go to the bathroom.